and 3 minutes to the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation for its first questions in Parliament in 50 years in a committee.
Well, thanks very much for the opportunity, and Ms. Wilson-Raybould, thanks very much for your extensive and informative testimony. I'd like to ask you to expand a bit on the idea of separating the role of Attorney General from that of Minister of Justice. It seems that under our current system, the Prime Minister could choose to appoint two different people to those posts. Is that what you would recommend, or do you envision making the Attorney General an officer of Parliament, or somehow officially separating it from the government?
Well, I don't want to get too far in advance. I really hope that the committee will consider looking at studying this. I always try to look for ways to move forward. I think that it would be entirely appropriate for this committee to look at different models internationally. I mentioned the United Kingdom, where the Attorney General is not a member of Cabinet. The two hats that the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General wears here in our country are completely different, and I think there would be merit to talking about having those as two separate individuals. Obviously, after much discussion and study, the prerogative of the government of the time, what they would choose to do in that regard, and the Prime Minister.
Is that an idea you ever floated to the Prime Minister or to the Clerk of the Privy Council office?
I would say no, because I can't remember a concrete discussion where we had. But there have been times where I have raised the issue internally when I was the minister with individuals, and potentially I could have had conversations with other colleagues.
Okay. Now, you were asked about whether you supported deferred prosecution agreements, and I don't want to push that question again. I do want to ask, though, if you could describe what the ideal candidate for a deferred prosecution might be.
Well, I think that it's the tool of a deferred prosecution agreement and considerations that the Director of Public Prosecutions or prosecutors can take into account are delineated and articulated within the criminal code.
Okay. No, that's good for me.
Thank you so much. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Wilson-Raybould very much for her testimony. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.